Hey everybody, welcome. Dr. Anita here, founder and CEO of the Unlimited Woman Alliance, Power Her Success Academy, Her Global Voice, and AMJ Productions and Publications. I am a well-diverse woman here. I am so honored that you are a part of our Power Her Success Masterclass, where we're going to be talking with Leo Kanell, who is the founder and CEO of Seven Figure Funding. Right now, as you already know, we're going through a huge pandemic experience, and so many of us are struggling with finances, with money, with trying to take our life and our business to the next level. And those of you who know me and those of you who don't, I have a background as an organizational psychologist and a marriage and family therapist. So I have the nature to research for stuff. I've been looking at situations, trying to find the patterns, trying to find the solutions, and then identifying resources that help someone move into their next level. And so this is one of those areas that I took a step back and said, how can I help my community and those that I'm connected to in taking their life and their business to the next level? And one of the areas that came forward was in the areas of financing. And if you haven't taken the time to apply for the PPL, which is the Payment Protection Loan through your bank, or applied for the COVID grant, which is about $10,000 through SBA, or all the other grants that are available, because we know that we're coming to a close and those things are going to shut down pretty soon, you need to have another source to find the funding to help you take your life and your business to the next level. That's what we're here for, so that you can make even a bigger impact in those that you serve within your family, your community, and the world. So I had the honor of meeting actually an associate of Leo. We had such a fantastic conversation. He said, I think you need to meet the founder and talk to him. Then Leo and I met and had such another fantastic conversation. I said, I'm in, dude. Let's make this work. Would you be willing to have this kind of a masterclass? And here he is to teach you and help you develop mastery and understanding how to create money for your life and for your business. So with that being said, Leo, hi. So glad to meet you face to face finally.
Dr. Jackson, it's a pleasure to be here. We're excited to connect with your community and empower these female entrepreneurs to make 2020 their breakthrough year.
That's right.
Because they still can.
I love it. Thank you so much. So I have a few questions for Leo. We're going to have this, really diverse conversation. If you have any questions, you can always email it to me. For those of you who signed up, congratulations. For those of you who signed up and said, hey, I'll watch it at the replay. If you have questions, get that to us. Leo is offering so much wisdom and so many fantastic gifts at the end. So I'm very excited. So Leo, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you show up in the world and how you actually got into this whole idea of seven-figure funding.
Great question. So my background is in finance. I've been in that industry for over 17 years. I'm the oldest of 9 kids from a small town in southern Utah called Beaver. And so I started my path towards entrepreneurship in college. I was at a class and a guy comes in, he's like, hey, that piece of paper you're getting is not going to be enough. You've got to get some experience. Yeah. And so I learned how to start a business from him. It's actually a painting business, even though I had no skills with painting. So that was fun, did that for a summer, and then went right into finance and done everything from residential mortgages to commercial finance. And what I saw a few years ago was a big gap in what new business owners and small business owners need, because what happens is the top 7% of businesses make $1 million a year. And that's where most funding companies are fighting over that top 7%. So the other 93% doesn't have a lot of options, and especially if you're a newer business. And so that's where I started to really focus in on how can we provide funding sources and options and do it without having to provide collateral. Because if you've ever gone to your local bank, they always want collateral and lots of business financials. And when you're a small business owner, it's tough to come up with those types of things. And so that's what I started to really focus on was the importance of being able to provide funding options for small business owners and to be able to empower them.
Love it. And I totally agree with you that it's really one of the reasons why I reached out to you just as well, was that I think I just hit myself. Let's see, did I? I think I did. I did. Anyways, one of the things that I had found out is a lot of my own clients were struggling with funding for themselves as well. And I needed another source because we were using kind of like PayPal loans through another company, and it was just becoming more challenging for them to get approved. So how can I help them get the resources that they wanted? So this is fantastic. So here's my question for you. All right. What are some examples of how funding was essential to the success of some of those fastest growing businesses?
Great question. And since I'm the funding guy and I wrote this book about business funding, which, by the way, we're going to give away for free at the end of this, but I researched, well, how important is funding and what has been the history of people that needed it? And one story that really impacted me a lot was the story of Under Armour and their founder, Kevin Plank, who started Under Armour in college, actually.
Really?
On the East Coast, I believe it was University of Pittsburgh. And he was the type of guy that sold roses during Valentine's Day and T-shirts at football games. He was a walk-on football player. And so he's there, and he's realizing these cotton T-shirts are the worst in the humidity and football practice. They just weigh you down, and they make you slow and not very effective. And so he's like, there's got to be a better material. He starts studying the types of material. And he realizes he's going to need like $30,000 to $40,000 to get this business off the ground. And fortunately, he'd really paid attention to developing a strong credit profile so that he could get that money. And he went to 5 different lenders and was able to get up to about $40,000 in funding. And he actually didn't make any sales for almost a year. So he was getting nervous, but he was running his business out of his grandma's basement. And fortunately, I believe it was the University of Georgia football team started to buy his material, and now Under Armour is the second biggest sports apparel brand in the world. And
Wow.
they never would have gotten there without that initial $40,000. And most
Right.
people, we think, oh, we need millions of dollars to build a big business, but we don't. A small amount of money is all we need to know or need to get started. So.
And I'm really glad you said that, because with this whole pandemic experience going on, a lot of us had to take a step back and kind of pivot and reassess where our business is. And, I've talked to some people, they're like, I need 70,000 or 100,000. I'm like, you know what? I only need about this small amount, because if I can get this in place to take care of the marketing and build it the way it needs to, I think the rest of it's going to take care of itself all by itself. I love that. So now that I talked about this whole COVID story, here's another question for you. How has COVID-19 affected businesses around the world?
It's a great question. So, I mean, obviously for a lot of businesses, it's really stopped their sales. And so you have to get much more creative. And I was watching a story actually on CNBC the other day. And there's a car dealership down the road from me, from my office here in Utah. And most car dealerships are down like 75%. People
Yeah,
are not buying cars right now.
right.
And so he knew that people were not going to be able to come into his dealership. So what he did was he pivoted to, well, how can I have a Zoom test drive? So he started doing Zoom meeting test drives
Oh, that's
in
brilliant.
vehicles. And then he started inviting people to Zoom meetings and just sharing information about how they can take care of their car during this time. And so he made this pivot, and now they're actually only down about 25% of their typical sales, while all the rest of the dealers are down big time. So what you want to do is focus on how can you reach your customer and client and bring more value to them. And that's going to be through technology. It's going to be through what
Yeah.
we're doing here on a Zoom
Yes.
phone call. And so that's what the impact is. If your business is predicated on bringing people in the doors, well, now you're going to have traffic more virtually, and you're going to have to change and tweak your product. I saw different farmers who were selling to restaurants, and with the restaurants being closed, they weren't able to sell their meat and their products. And so they pivoted and started packaging and passing to the grocery stores, which had big time demand. And so
Yes.
it's about figuring out, it's not the smartest, it's not the strongest to survive in business. It's he or she who adapts the quickest to changing conditions. So we have to adapt quickly.
I have been saying that. It's actually funny that you say that, because that's one of the things that I did just as well. Is I started to realize, okay, most of my business has been offline. I was speaking and traveling, and all of a sudden that came to a complete halt. And I had to figure out what's another way that I can actually start sharing. And this is how we created our group, Power Her Success Network, and our Facebook group, which, originally we had 50 women. Then all of a sudden we blew up to right now, as of today, we have 209. So we continually are growing.
Nice.
And I decided, okay, every single Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a training in that group and bringing on an expert every single week, so that they're constantly being engaging. And believe it or not, I'm actually getting clients from all of these wonderful things, because I pivoted my business and going to a whole nother level, which I think is so brilliant. But it's also difficult, because I think a lot of people may not know how to build a business and may not have all the resources. available to them to take it to the next level. So these master classes are very powerful. Okay, so let's talk about what part does credit play in the life of an entrepreneur? This is a good question.
So credit is one of those things that we're not taught it in school, in high school, college. Like there's no credit, and the finance classes are very, high 30,000 feet level, and really geared towards, well, here's what happens with credit finance if you're a big business. But again, 93% of business owners are not, especially if you're new. Right. And so credit is very important. And there's business credit where your business can have a credit score, and then there's personal credit. And so both of those things are important, and we try to help our business owners get educated on business credit, but the core always starts with personal credit. And so understanding how it works. For example, a lot of us think that our credit history, if we make our payments on time, our credit's going to be perfect. And that actually only makes up 35% of our credit score. The next biggest factor is our utilization of credit cards and lines of credit. And so when you max out all your credit cards, then your score takes a big dip. And so one of the big things that we'll help a lot of clients out with is we'll help them to get a loan, pay down some of those card balances that they used for their business, then their score goes way up. And now we can actually get them new 0% revolving credit accounts that they can use to pay off all those debts, save thousands, and have 0% money left over to grow and build their business. And that makes someone feel very comfortable in a time like this, right? If you don't have to pay interest for a year, well, now you feel like there's a pressure off you and you can really go to work and build your business the right way.
Fantastic information. So now I'm going to throw a question at you that's not on our list, because I think what you have is so crucial for us to have the understanding of. But because this pandemic experiences are going around and so many people may not have received the money that they need, and they're not making those payments that they need to, their credit's getting hit right now. And that may affect their ability to actually get the loan. Is there anything that you can talk to about that?
Yes. And I'm really glad you asked that question, because right now is an unprecedented time where you can still protect your credit and actually not make payments. I've seen mortgage companies, I've seen car loan companies, I've seen credit card companies and student loan lenders. All of these different creditors and lenders are more willing than ever to work with you. So you have to call them, preferably early in the morning, to avoid all the call volume, right? And get through and just say, hey, I'm restructuring some things during this slowdown, and I just need to skip 1 or 2 months worth of payments to get back on track. And if you'll communicate with them, I've seen people being able to skip up to 3 mortgage payments, up to 2 car loan payments, credit card payments, and they're not reporting that negative to the credit bureau. So it's super important. If you're about to go 30 days, remember 30 days is when you're 30 days late, that's when they start to report that negative payment history. So if you'll just communicate, sometimes you can do it online and get an agreement online with different lenders to skip 3 months of mortgage payments. So there's lots of things you can do, but you've got to be proactive. And if you are, you can still protect your credit. And then that's where they need to work with a business coach like yourself so that they can get their business on track and start generating sales and understanding marketing and strategic partners. And then get the funding, get the funding so that they have a long runway to spend money, to make money. The worst type of debt you can take on is that doesn't make you money, right? That expensive car and house payment. But if you take on funding debt to grow a business and earn income, that's what the most successful business owners have done. Everyone from Google to Walmart to Nike, all of these brands were fueled by funding, and they understood that business funding is the key to how to.
So what about those individuals? Because this is fantastic information. So let's say right before you get to the point where you're maybe late on your payments, what if it's already happened and you're already late and you're already seeing those credit scores drop? Do you think that this still applies to them, or is there something else that they can do?
There's always something else you can do, and probably anywhere from 25 to 30% of our clients that come in, they are entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs take risks, and sometimes your credit gets damaged, right? And so what we'll do is, as they create their business plan and get proof of concept that their business is working, in almost every case, you're able to find one friend or family member, bring them into the business who has the good credit, and knows that they're not going to ever be able to create wealth with the job they have, but they see an opportunity to work with you, and they come in as a credit partner. They help you get the funding. You help them out in some way. And I've seen a lot of businesses work that way, where the business owner doesn't have great credit, but some family member does. They help them get the money, and they all benefit together.
And that's what I love about this conversation, is because right now the overall goal of what we're talking about is to help you become empowered and make this decision, reach that definite conclusion that you can change the direction of your success. Because despite what's going on around us, here's information, here's opportunities to say we can take you by the hand and actually help you move into your next level. So this is, listen, you guys, we're trying to help you. We're trying to help you be successful so that you can come out of this ahead rather than behind, which is, I think, is the number one reason why we're having these kinds of powerful conversations. Yay. Okay. So what are some business funding options, or best business funding options?
Great question, Dr. Jackson. So best funding options out there are typically those where you don't need collateral. Too often you go down to the bank and they're like, oh, give me your 401k and then I'll give you a loan. And you're like, how's that a loan? That's not really a loan, right? And so you want to get funding that you don't have to put collateral up. And there's two types of funding that you're going to get. You're going to look for a loan that you don't have to provide any collateral, number one. And the second option that you're going to look for is revolving credit. Even something like a traditional line of credit or a business credit card. And what we do is we've created a whole marketplace. We've helped thousands of people, and so we have the data, and we know if you live in this neck of the woods, in Florida or in New York or in California, that these are going to be your best options based off of your credit profile, your business type. And so we'll build out a custom funding plan that might include some 5-year loan options, a revolving credit line at 0% interest for the first year with affordable monthly payments. And then we're going to help you increase your personal credit score and hopefully move expensive debts that you currently have to new 0% accounts, so you save money personally and put yourself in a better position to succeed.
That's
so it's
brilliant.
Really loans and revolving credit are your two best options.
That's brilliant. I'm just sitting here going, oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. I'm excited to learn this. Okay. So how do you apply for a lending, and what's the process of what's the process like? How do you apply for lending? What's the process like?
Great question. So everybody watching, this workshop today with Dr. Jackson, we actually have a special link that she's going to be providing here, connected to this workshop. And with that link, we're waiving, a lot of our fees, all of our upfront fees. There's no application or underwriting. And so you can get a free pre-approval and know exactly what your options are. So you'll basically just fill out that form. It'll take you about 30 seconds, just your contact information. And then the second step after you apply is we've partnered up with Experian, the biggest credit bureau out there, where we can get a snapshot of your credit profile that's a soft pull to your credit and has no negative impact. And you can do that right in the second step after you fill out the contact info. And then the third step is you just set up a phone appointment, and there's a link right there with Dr. Jackson's custom link that we're going to be sharing with you.
I'm pulling that up right now so that anyone can have it. I thought I had it at my immediate disposal, but I don't.
No problem.
I will make sure everyone gets that link so that you can use it and start the process with Leo and his company for sure. Don't even have to worry about that. So Leo, let's go to a few other questions. So I also know, got some great questions on here. How long until you receive your funding typically?
It's usually 2 weeks that you get access to your funding. If it's a loan, it'll be deposited right to your bank account. And if it ends up being a revolving credit line, then you'll have access to that usually within 2 weeks as well. And so if you kind of know that you need X amount of dollars for a marketing campaign, for some equipment, to hire somebody, then that's where it's good to take out a loan. If you're not really sure how you're going to use the money for the next few months, then that's where we'll get you a revolving credit line, and then you're not having to pay it back until you actually use it. And it's available for the life of your business. If you build the relationship the right way, you can actually get that credit limit increased substantially over the next year or two. And it's a great way to build your business. The worst thing that can happen is get stuck in a tough situation where you don't have access to money. And so
Yes.
you want to get access to it now before you really need it as quickly as possible.
So I also want to talk about something that you have. You have an affiliate program for individuals who are looking to partner with you on a long-term basis. Could you talk about your affiliate program?
Absolutely, Dr. Jackson. So we love working with business coaches and any consultants, marketing, lead gen, like anybody who's serving business owners like we are. Like, it's a natural extension for you to be able to offer your clients funding and financing options, right? And so we have a partner program where we create a custom link for you, and every time someone needs funding, you just send them to that link, and we'll give them their free pre-approval, get them the money, and then let you know when they actually receive that money. And we actually pay referral fees as well. So not only can this help you grow your business so that your clients can finance the products and services that you offer, but you also get paid for doing it. And so that's a big part of our business. Like 70–80% of our business comes from our 7-figures partners who send in clients. And even if you don't work with business owners and you're looking for a side hustle or another stream of income, we've got a training portal that will actually show you and guide you to the best ways to go find business owners and help them get money. And boy, they really need it right now, guys.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm very excited about this because if those of you who are watching the replay and those of you who are here, if you decide, hey, I would love to learn so much more about this whole affiliate 7-figure partner program, then basically reply to me. I'll send you a link to sign up for it. Leo and I will be doing, or Leo actually will be doing another presentation specifically on that program and how you can use this as another arm of your business. I've definitely stepped into this particular opportunity because I knew that this is something that's going to help not only me offer more value to all the clients that I work with, but to offer this community another resource that you can use on an ongoing basis to build reoccurring income for your business as you're supporting other people taking their life and their business to the next level. So with that being said, Leo, is there anything else you think that our community needs to hear from you that would really support them in making a decision to seek out funding and especially business credit? Because for some reason, that's really appealing to me. Learning what it really means to have business credit for your brand, your message, and your business.
Absolutely. I mean, it's you just want to know what your options are, right? So if they'll just click on your custom funding link here that you're going to share with them here,
yes.
You're going to, I'm sure it'll be in the email as well, then they can go through, apply, get their funding options. And once they have their options, now they know what they need to do, right? Sometimes it's like Tony Robbins says, if you need the money and you're focused enough in your business, you'll always be able to find it, regardless of the situation you find yourself in, your credit, your business, whatever it might be. And so we will provide the solutions and the steps you need to get the funding. And then once you have it, it's where's the best place that you can put it? Where can you spend $1 and make $2? Like, it's not rocket science. Get some funding, spend $1 of it, make $2 or $3, and then rinse and repeat and grow and scale that business. And then if you work with business owners or you want that additional stream of income, then you can join our partner program and get access to that. And something else that you did mention just previously was recurring income. And one of the keys to building a recession-proof business is having recurring income that comes in every single month, regardless of what's going on. And so that's something else that we've done is we actually, in our partnership with Experian, created a way for people to be able to monitor their credit, to be able to improve it, and to be able to protect it. There's hackers and there's the dark webs, all these things out there to hurt your credit. So that's another part of our partner program where people can actually benefit and earn recurring income and do it in a way that helps other people to protect their credit.
Beautiful. So for those of you who are here, I just uploaded the link to my particular page. If you're looking to have at least a no obligation, risk-free type of conversation with Leo or his team, is there for you so that you can make some really powerful decisions. And I definitely want all of you to do that for yourself, because having this kind of information and really working with someone one-on-one is going to help you move into the power position so that you can actually see what's available to you so that you can make some really smart, and that's what you guys hear me say this all the time, making some really smart decisions on how to build a business that is recession-proof and that has longevity to it. And and you need funding, we need to start thinking like the big boys. We need to start moving to a whole nother level so we can make so much more of a bigger impact in our family, in the community, as well as in our world. So with that being said, Leo, thank you so much for your time, your information, and I look forward to continuing to partnering with you and sending so many people to you as we take our life to the next level through your particular service. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anita. We look forward to serving you and your community.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time, for being here. We appreciate you. And again, I'll be sending out this replay and the link to the page so that you can look into working with Leo and his team. And we really appreciate you. To your greatest unlimited success this week. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.